Hello, lore heads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
And I'm Mark.
And today we're talking about the Rabble Rouser Gragas. I still can't get over his title. I don't know why it's so funny.
Rabble.
It was released February 2nd, 2010.
Now, do we want to open with the most important part?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
yeah.
got our impressions. Oh, no.
I wonder if Mark and I chose the same one again this
Ooh,
week.
go for it.
All right. Don't get pushy.
Did you? Is that what you wrote?
I wrote down a second one just in case he took that one.
That's so
I can see how you wouldn't recognize it because I wrote it. I wrote it phonetically, like he said, which is Donge Polshi.
Yeah, he's almost Cajun.
I wrote a second one just in case, though I didn't practice it, so it's going to sound bad.
All right, no, go for it, honey.
I'll drink you under the table, scrub.
That's actually really good.
I liked it. Yeah, that was
That's
good.
really good. Nice.
Okay, hang on.
Don't get pushy.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even mean to pick that one. I was
Did
gonna
you choose one at random?
Yes, I was gonna do like a joke one. I have a soundboard of all the champions, and I was like, "Oh, I'll pretend like this is me," and I pressed it, and it was that fucking quote. Are you serious?
It's like, it's like the prophecy says: all roads eventually lead to Donge Polshi.
I was gonna say I'm buying, but I didn't remember the rest of the quote. That's fine.
If
That's
you're
fine
buying, I'm in. Or something like that.
something like
Yeah,
that.
if you're buying, I'm drinking probably.
I think maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
There's
Anyway,
only 6 quotes. I can't believe we can't even remember that.
honestly, there are not that many quotes. Gragas needs some love. I will say, so Gragas on his universe page only has a bio and a short story. John has a lot of Journal of Justice apparently to go through, which I'm super excited about. Apparently they just like got rid of all his old lore and didn't really replace it with much. I do like, though, before we even really get into his bio, how very small Gragas's world is and his story. No wars here today. No morally gray areas. It's just...
Yeah. He's just out here fucking brewing his best life.
He is brewing his best life. That's beautiful.
You know,
honey.
they flirt with it a little with him kind of befriending Ash and the Avarosans.
Yeah,
right? Like they
yeah.
had like the slightest hint of like, someone was like, ooh, maybe we can put him. Nah, fuck it. You just want us off.
Well, just to remind everyone that there is more important stuff happening as well. But yeah, we're not there. I don't feel like Riot cares about these types of champions. I guess they can't go big with it in a way, but I don't know.
I do love, especially in the old lore, how many random ass people he has allied with.
Oh, really?
I fucking love it.
I mean, I like the
Yeah.
idea that he doesn't have any like real enemies or anything, and that people would like him because he's just, buying drinks and hanging out. He's just vibing.
He's a surlier Braum, right?
Yeah.
He's just he doesn't have as many quotes because he's too drunk to talk, right? But it's the same
Although
vibe.
Braum does get involved in the war. I don't feel like Gragas would care.
That's true.
Man,
That's
where's
true.
fucking ruined Gragas? Give me that.
Gragas is permanently ruined.
I was gonna say.
Oh no! Actually, I'd prefer a Sentinel Gragas. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I'll go through his bio. It's the only thing I have notes for. The short story, I don't think any of us have notes for, but we'll kind of like get through it. It's not really heavy plot wise.
I have one note, so
Ooh, I love it.
Kind of a big deal.
So in short, for Gragas's bio, he can't get drunk and really, really wants to. Is just kind of like if you were to put a one sentence on it. He likes to drink and fight, and he's determined to make an ale that will actually get him drunk. And to which I have to say, just switch to margaritas or something, Gragas. I don't know why you're wasting your time. I can't even get drunk off beer, and it doesn't take much to get me drunk, but beer is useless for that. Anyway. Gragas heads to the Freljord, and this is where he discovers true ice, which does not melt, according to this canon, this lore.
Yeah, Orn.
It also apparently keeps booze at the perfect drinking temperature. So he takes some and makes a good drink. And he happens to come across Ash negotiating with another tribe, and someone is unhappy that Gragas is interrupting them, so they fight and all knock each other out, I guess. They bar brawl. When they wake up, Ash suggests that they just party hardy or something, and they all love that Gragas drank. And
that Gragas drank.
That Gragas drank. They all make up.
Drank.
But Gragas still can't get plastered. The true ice didn't help. And that's his one mission in life.
I will say more than anything we've read so far, even more than Cho'Gath, this read like an original bio. This read to me like old lore. I had to actually double check to make sure that there was older lore just to ensure that this wasn't the oldest lore. I don't know, it's just like something about it just struck me as like, oh, this seems original, but then it wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I wish I'll have to go like look and compare like old and new bios to kind of. It's hard to like put to words that sort of flavor. It's got to stink about it, you know.
It's got to stink about it.
It's not even that bad though, frankly. I like this. This reminds me of like, God, who were we saying? Is it like Aatrox is like everyone's first D&D character, like super edgy, like hardcore?
Oh my God,
this is
Mark,
like everyone's second D&D character, where they're like,
Mark. I literally wrote that down. I wrote down that it feels like a D&D backstory from a veteran D&D player. That's what it feels like. It's someone who's played D&D a lot, and they're like, you know what? I'm tired of like the death and the hunting and the sadness. I'm just trying to fucking get drunk, dude. That's my backstory.
Yeah, it's a nice open-ended, you know, sort of thing that they can go do. Like, oh, I'm looking for beer ingredients, but they've got to be magical and rare. It's like, oh, perfect. You can just be on this adventure ad infinitum. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, the entire time was just waiting for and then they made up after the brawl, and he decided to join the League of Legends. Now he's searching for beer on the fields of justice.
Oh God!
I'm curious what his original reasons were. Is it?
Oh, don't you worry, I wrote it down.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, excellent! I'm curious. Is it because he is so small scoped, and on top of that, he's also very like lighthearted, right? And he's not like a complete joke either. So he kind of in this not weird, but like very specific tonal spot compared to everyone else. I don't know.
It's true, and I will say too, it's even weird that he's not even written super light. I almost feel like every description of him is like he's gonna drink all your shit. He's gonna destroy whatever bar or area he's in. He's gonna start all sorts of fights with everybody there. And yeah, if you dig fighting, like maybe you'll enjoy it. But he's also just gonna fucking wreck the area and then move on.
It's funny. It's like they try to write it like the Fiddlesticks lore, but it's Gragas. So like, but like that's how serious it was. They made it that serious. But like, bro, he's just trying to get drunk. Like, write it funnier, write it more chill. You know.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
This could have used a lighter tone.
Yeah.
You're talking about more of the short story. I thought the bio seemed kind of, I guess more light comparing the two. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. So the short story is called A Well-Earned Tip. It's by Laura Mitchett. Is that how we say that name?
I don't know. That name's come up once before. Yeah.
It has, yeah. This was cute. This is from the point of view of like a young lad. I don't remember his name.
Because Angel?
That's not part of my notes.
Agel, sure.
Yeah.
His mama is sick, so he starts working at his uncle's pub. Is that it?
I think his sister was sick.
Oh, his sister. Oh my God, yeah, his sister's sick. You're right. Yeah, he's not making a lot of money. He's relying on tips, etc. These burly-looking fellas all come in. They all order the cheapest beer on the menu and then sit down and don't tip him. Very rude.
Right? I am surprised at the amount of tips that he was expecting when the first thing they did was come in and all order the cheapest thing.
I know.
He was somehow still excited, like, oh, I'm going to make so much money off these tips.
Yeah.
I also thought tipping was a very American thing. I did.
Well,
I guess in
Runeterra,
they also don't have fair wages in Runeterra. I think this is Demacia, actually.
No, yeah, you're right. It's like just the northern Demacia. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Gragas barges in next. These burly men were waiting for him. Gragas looks at the menu for a long time and eventually settles on the most expensive beer on the menu, having heard good things. And he and the burly guys are negotiating like some ingredients for Gragas's, magical beverage. Meanwhile, Uncle Jasper, tells Agel, right, Angel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tells Angel, I don't even carry that expensive beer. We don't have it. I just put it there to impress people. Nobody orders it. So he does what kids do at soda fountains, and he mixes up all of the beers that he does have and then gives it to Angel to give to this like 7-foot tall, gigantic beer master. Poor Angel. Anyway, he goes over and he realizes pretty quickly after hearing Gragas talk that this guy is definitely going to know that this is not the beer. He is a master brewer. So he tries to take it, but Gragas takes the beer anyway, takes a sip, can tell immediately this is not the beer. At the same time, he also realizes that the big burly guys are swindling him for like the ingredients that they put in like this fancy box, and then it was just mummy ash. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
How
Mummy
dumb.
dust.
Right.
Mummy does. How dumb did they think Gragas was? He flips the table, beats everyone up. He ults Jasper. Everyone is left in ruin except for Angel, who Gragas tips and moves on. And that's that story.
And he tells them, tell Jasper, go a little lighter on this one next time.
Yeah.
He knew exactly which beers were
he-
part of the
he
concoction
knew
that
what
he was
beer.
given.
And the cheapest one, there was too much of it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
cute.
That's my only note. I said better.
Wow, John, he just wrote better, and he even put a period at the end.
It is
Damn.
your birthday.
That was exactly what I was going to say. It is your birthday. Oh, man. That's great. Yeah, it's kind of cute. It gives us a little insight on Gragas. He's like a good dude. He just seems like a good, chill dude. I would like a bit more here. What? God, what? A good, chill dude because he flipped a bunch of table and killed people.
A good chill dude.
But he-
Just fuck-
He punished those who deserved it, and that's it. He made sure Angel didn't even get a splinter in that wreckage that happened. He was left completely unharmed.
It's true. And he got a sweet ass like golden box for a tip. That's worth a shit ton.
Yeah, that's that was a neat world building detail, is that because they're so far on the frontier, most people don't trade in coin. But if you need to get like a doctor or something, you got to be able to pay them in coins. So that's why he's working the job specifically, is because he needs coins, not just like furs and shit. Which is a neat detail. I don't know.
I can't give the doctor fur. Also, they also don't have good health care in Runeterra? This is
I mean, I don't
very
know, man.
another really American thing.
We were just saying that they're trading for furs. I don't know if universal health care is on the top of their list.
They're fighting like 7 apocalyptic catastrophes at the same time.
Yeah.
That's really fair.
I'll get to you about that hip, dog. No worries. But then again, I don't know, magic's rampant. Okay, so he did fuck up Jasper's place, but is that punishment for swindling him on the beer, right?
I guess.
In a
They
karmic
also
sort
kind of
sense?
he kind of makes mention that golden box he got as a tip was worth like everything that they had and then some. So I feel like with that golden box, they could probably repair all of the damages and then still have a shit ton of money, is kind of what it sounded like.
That's true. That's
But
true.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was fun. I feel like Gragas, I agree. I wish we had more, because I feel like he could go around and go jump, like just cameo in a bunch of different places.
Yeah.
And they would be fun stories. And he doesn't have to be involved with anything big.
Yeah, and
You know what would be a really fun project that would take forever? Is going alphabetically and writing a Gragas interaction with every champion.
What happens with
it'd be
Annie?
like
I guess
playtime with Nar, but this time with Gragas.
Yeah. Playtime with Gragas. Ooh.
I was thinking drinking. I don't know what y'all are.
Well, you know,
like,
one
like
thing
the
leads to
comic.
other. Yeah.
It's just Nar going around and interacting with various
Yeah.
champions. It'd
Yeah.
be like that.
Yeah, no, I know.
But yeah, he's got the right amount of disconnected. There's a few good lines I liked, especially like in this story. He talks about how all the bodyguards pulled out hatchets, and it's like Gragas just pulled out his fists.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
He's got to be one of the only champions that doesn't have a weapon, I guess. Except for mages, who they auto-attack with fireball magic or whatever.
Throw
Even
clocks
most of
at
them still
motherfuckers.
carry a weapon.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Even Jax, who's all like, imagine if I had a real weapon.
He still has a fucking weapon,
You
though.
got a fucking lamp.
Wow,
buddy.
imagine having the audacity to say that to Gragas.
right.
He's got barrels, I suppose, but there's not
Barrels.
much better. You know, it's funny because aren't they supposed to be like bros? Jax and him, weren't they drinking bros in the JOJ?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, John's gonna get to that. I could tell by the look in his eyes.
Sure. I mean, what else do you say about base Gragas, right? I think he's got he reminds me of like, kind of reminds me of Braum, but with less of a VO to cover him. I think if he got a VO update, you could, he could be a really good character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do some cool stuff with him.
All right, but leaping out of canon,
Now-
Gragas,
now
Body
in his old
slamming.
bio.
body slamming out of that casket.
He was just a brewer who lived close to Noxus. And he lived so close to one of the Nexuses that the magic from the Nexus just kind of seeped into his brews.
Oh, I didn't consider the fact that the Nexus was something
Yeah,
that existed in the canon.
that's like
of
going to be the biggest fucking thing of this whole thing. Like, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
that's like an actual place, and it fucks people up if they're nearby, like radiation.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
God.
It's just random radiant magic, which is also why he grew to his size. They explained that. It was the Nexus magic.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Tall people can't exist. It was the Nexus.
Okay, he's like 8 feet tall and he's like massive. He's
Yeah.
so
I
big.
don't
He's
know.
like he's almost Andre the Giant size, right? Like he's
big,
probably a little bit
yeah.
more, frankly. You know.
Probably. But yeah, so he lived like right outside of Noxus and would go inside Noxus all the time to like drink and then start fights. And then Noxus, like authorities would chase him out of town. He'd run back to his little house in the foothills of Noxus and then go back when he needed to drink again.
His little hovel. I love the idea. He's like a cave troll. Just
Unfortunately, his misadventures garnered him the attention of several summoners in the League of Legends, and he's now a willing champion in the arenas, doling out hard liquor and harder fists.
Ooh, who does he fight for? Or is he like one of those mercenary independents?
Oh yeah, he's one of them independents.
Independent.
Firefly, thank you. So he was a Journal of Justice darling, let me tell you. They fucking loved themselves some Gragas.
Interesting. Whoever did all that must have left Riot. And then when
That was the last we heard.
So, no one else gave a fuck about Gragas.
Oh man, that's kind of sad. Fuck.
Yeah.
So I'll go over 3 lighthearted ones and then the one about Jax, which did not hold up, let me tell you.
Oh, okay.
So, first of all, we find out that Gragas signed a 9,000 year lease in Freljord to construct and brew Graggy ice on the northernmost glacier in the Freljord, the Avarosa ice flow.
So was Gragas also immortal? Was it because of the Nexus? He's just
Is that
a
just
dude.
a joke?
That was never, that,
Oh my god, it's a joke.
Is
I
Is that like
can't
an
tell
over
with his name.
9,000 joke?
well, it is. I wrote this down.
I'm too young.
It is actually a reference to the St. James Gate Brewery, where in 1759, Arthur Guinness signed a 9,000 year lease for £45 a year to open that first Guinness brewery.
Oh my.
Oh shit! Well, now we just look like uncultured slops. Fuck.
Ew.
For the record, he's now since bought out that whole property, so he's not beholden to the 9,000
Well, phew,
year lease
I was
anymore. But
really worried about him.
yeah, so that was one interesting thing. He signed a 9,000 year lease to basically mine the Avarosa ice flow for True Ice, but he's also apparently business partners with Singed. No bad could come of this.
Okay.
Yeah. So second article is actually about him opening another brewery in Zon. So there was like we find out he's opening a distribution center in Zon and Bilgewater with Singe's help.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Is because did Singed used to be Noxus? Is that what's the deal? Man, they really made Singed a lot darker. I guess he was always a war criminal, but it's
They
so
made
crazy
him a lot.
that
Right.
I guess they kind of
It's
forgot about
it's
that.
such a weird matchup here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was definitely already a war criminal by the time he teamed up with Gragas to build these breweries.
Oh my god.
But also these golden ales, man.
Yeah, these sweet, sweet brews. In this article, actually, people were initially worried to hear that he was coming because on a previous visitation, he inadvertently started one of the worst chemical fires in Zon history by upending a large tank of industrial coolant he'd mistaken for a cask of beer in a drunken haze. 3 corporate properties were lost in the wake of the burnout, including the warehouse storing fireworks for that year's Snowdown festivities. The resulting explosion caused a citywide panic, not to mention spoiling a Snowdown spirit for the rest of the year.
Oh, no.
You did this, Gragas.
God, I wish that some of these, maybe not the teaming up with Singed part, would were modern canon, because they sound like great.
Right? The type of hijinks that we expect from our Gragas.
Yeah.
The third one we actually talked about a little bit earlier because it plays on Gangplank 2. It was the mustache question that they got.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Where they're like, oh, do the, mustache champions hang out? And it was Gragas who invited all those champions to the Lamplighter Inn in Noxus for a promotional event for his brewery. And they all got super hammered on Graggy Ice, and then they got into a heated argument about the intricacies of facial hair grooming, which erupted into a tavern brawl that leveled the Noxian Vaxalian Square. And it was only stopped when they promised to host a beard brawl bowl at a later date on the Fields of Justice.
Oh,
God. This is that something that Riot, I assume, was planning on doing in the vein of the Noxus Ionia lore show match? You remember that shit?
It had to have been.
And then just never fucking happened.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, or maybe it did. Who knows?
Yeah,
I assume it would have
knows,
shown up in
right?
the Journal of Justice if it did. So.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the last one is just a telling of Gragas and Jax's drunken episode. So this is basically a story about how Gragas and Jax get drunk at a bar. But in less than 4 hours, 12 chairs have been broken, 1 window, 5 bottles, 3 arms, and a handful of teeth. Furthermore, 2 waitresses claim to have had their buttocks inappropriately fondled. After a cursory investigation, Noxian officials decided to drop all charges. Sergeant Willem Nightshade of the Noxian Constabulary had this to say: "As a league champion who has committed no crime against the state proper, it is unlawful for us to ban him from our borders. Honestly, now the trouble only starts when the barkeeps stupidly serve him too much to drink. It's their risk if they let him in and give him endless refills on alcohol. What did they expect would happen? Next time they should just try watering down his drink. On the other hand, that might just rile him up more. Anyway, just consider the risks when serving someone named the Rabble Rouser." It's a lot to unpack.
Wow. I feel like someone at Riot was projecting in a real fucked up way.
Diplomatic immunity.
Oh my God. Why would you put victim blaming in a fucking Journal of Justice story?
That's what your
Those wilder
lighthearted
times, man.
newspaper needs.
Oh God. Well, I'm glad that's out.
That Gragas, out.
That Gragas is so 2010.
Anyone at Riot might have read that and been like, why is this on our website? Please get it out of here.
Maybe no.
Maybe a no.
Maybe how about no?
Maybe no.
But yeah, that's all the old lore we have for Gragas.
So is that the only issue with trying to write Gragas stories, is that they end in a drunken bar destruction, right? Is that the issue with
Mark,
so many of those?
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't
I
have
suppose
to
that's
be
fair.
an issue.
It could be anything, right?
It doesn't have to be a thing. Yeah, so before we, I guess, jump into the AUs, I'll just say about Gragas, like so many others, a lot of potential. And to be a smaller champion in a smaller corner of the world, and that's totally fine. He doesn't have to be involved in the big shit. He doesn't have to be ruined or a sentinel, He could just be chilling. But yeah, I think the biggest thing, if they ever wanted to, expand on Gragas, would be to include any kind of connection to anyone, anywhere.
Yeah, because even modern Gragas isn't technically connected to Jax. That's still just like
no,
old Gragas.
he has no friends.
Yeah.
He has no family. He has no lovers. Like,
God damn.
he's just alone,
think
which
you'd
is
have
not
the
also not
Dig
part
him.
of the. You're fucking alone, Gragas. Get a friend, numbnuts. That's why he has to make beer. He's just trying. Maybe that'll be him and a Moo. That'll be their story. He'd be like, I also don't have friends, but then in true Moo fashion, he still abandons him. He's like, man, I'd rather be friendless than be friends with you,
Oh,
Moo.
damn.
Fucking mummy dust. See, it's
Maybe
all
the
connected.
secret ingredient will be...
Oh, the mummy dust.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe the mummy tears will be the secret ingredient.
Yeah, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be too soon to find it, though.
Well, that's it. Problem solved.
It's game
One.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, that would be like a real a real catch-22 though, because he needs to be around a Moo to collect the tears for his drink. But befriending a Moo would make a Moo not cry anymore.
So he's got to be
Look,
just an
A
asshole
horrible
friend.
person.
I don't want to get into any sort of mummy tier farming shenanigans. All right.
You're right, it is. Mummy tear. We got away from one aspect, a problematic aspect. Let's not go to another. That's fair. Anyway,
That one's
give
more
me some of
unique.
those sweet AUs.
Real quick before AUs, I would just say I completely agree. And what could be good with Gragas would be the fact that he kind of straddles the line between Demacia and Freljord. And it would be interesting to see someone who kind of bounces back and forth between the two.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Man, I feel like he and Quinn would get on probably.
Oh my god, I
Ooh,
love the
yeah.
idea that he's friends with Quinn. Yeah. And that they just kind of bump into each other. I also like him kind of being like Ezreal in a way, that if he ever gets involved in any of these war shenanigans, it's like an accident.
Yeah.
Next cinematic needs to be Ezreal, or needs to be Gragas and Quinn, like teaming up in one of the vignettes.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
I'd love that. Yeah.
Now, real quick before we get into AUs, because he is in one cinematic.
Okay, is he in the cinematic, or
No.
is his barrel is
His
in the
barrel's in the Mac client launch, BB.
Ooh.
But now I can get into the alternate universe.
What about Race for the Cup, right? Doesn't
Oh, that's
all the-
true.
yeah.
He is
You
in
got
that.
Skara.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Skara is being Gragas in that one that who was it? Studio Mir did for the
Don't
World
remember.
Championship,
Yeah.
where they had all the players who were kind of like, acting out the famous moves of the champions they played most at the time.
Huh.
Yeah. Wow, that wasn't linked anywhere, but yeah, you're right. He's in it. He's in
Yeah.
it, baby.
It's the
Shit.
funniest part of that whole video.
I don't remember this.
You would as soon as you saw it.
All right, Race to the Cup. I'll Google it real quick. You can keep going.
All right. So, first one we're going to talk about, which was actually the biggest surprise to me, was Cops and Robbers. So this is set in an alternate Piltover and Zon, where each of the champions are part of the Piltover Police Department, or they're criminals. Now, I would have put money on the fact that Gragas...
Oh, I do remember this.
I knew that was going to happen as soon as I started talking.
Anyway, Cops and Robbers. Oh my god, this animation. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I saw Meteos, so I got really excited for a second. I put my phone down. We're fine.
Yeah, so I would have put money on the fact that Gragas Esquire was part of the High Society skin line, the one where he's just like sipping, a scotch and he's dressed all fancy.
Yeah.
But he is one of the city's top criminal defense attorneys. Gragas Esquire is often seen carousing with the chief of police and various circuit court judges, mostly because they know he has access to the finest prohibited goods, but also because he's been paying them off for decades.
Gragas. Oh my god.
God, this fucking skin. That's so
Good for
fucking
you, man.
wild.
Right?
Yeah.
Now I feel like that
He's the fucking godfather.
that secret Gragas room at Riot HQ hits different now.
Ooh, fuck. Ooh, that's a good point. Goddamn.
I thought it was just
That's
a
so
high
funny.
society room where you hide out and drink, but no, it's a fucking dirty defense room.
Damn. Ew, dirty defense room.
He's also part of Wonders of the World, set in an alternate Earth where each champion represents the culture of a real-world nation. This one is Oktoberfest Gragas. Gragas is the world's premier authority on beverages. Here at the International Beverage Festival and Fun Fair, he's drinking a lot of them.
When you were saying it, I was going to ask, is it Hillbilly Gragas?
So real quick.
I could not find an AU for that.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, is Hillbilly Gragas in any of these AUs or no?
I couldn't find it.
Because there's somebody here who has dressed as Hillbilly Gragas before.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out on the Twitter who that is. Could be anyone.
Ooh, I was going to ask you if you had a picture and if you'd be comfortable sharing it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even think you can see my face.
Nice.
It's this beard and hat.
There is a lot of beard, yeah.
Heck, I probably have a picture of you half cosplayed as Olaf, too.
Oh, come on. Does that
yes,
really
cave.
count, though?
Hey,
I'm
beard
down to
and hat,
post
that's all you need.
Right?
We gotta wait till we get to O's.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We're going to forget. John, you looked right into my eyes as you said that, and I had this moment of panic where I was like, did I dress as Olaf at some point? And I didn't remember.
I thought you were talking to Rebecca, too. I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember that. The fuck does that mean?
The
Half
microphone is
cosplay?
on one side of me,
I know.
and like the computer where the camera is on the other side, so I have to like turn away from the mic to look at Mark. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So he looked into my eyes and said,
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Your eyes were beautiful. So he's also part of PsyOps. Set in a military setting where all the champions are specialized warriors of high command trained to battle in different combat scenarios. So this is separated into General PsyOps and Arctic PsyOps. So this is the Arctic Ops Gragas. A large man, even before donning his hermetically sealed Arctic combat suit, Gragas is a mystery to all save for High Command's secretive R&D labs. He appears human by all means, save for the mask he never removes, and the eerily cold mixture of chemicals powering his massive frame.
Weird. So wait, hold on. Did you say that Arctic Ops and PsyOps are now just part of the PsyOps AU? Is that right?
Yes.
Did I hear that right? Okay. I feel like I should have known that.
I feel like I didn't actually know that until this week. Somehow, also.
That's fucking
I don't
weird.
even think I've ever really seen this skin. It's definitely not one that people use a lot when they play Gragas.
because it looks like an orange skin.
No, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
And outside of ARAM, I don't play Gragas.
Unsurprisingly, he's also part of Snowdown Showdown. Now, this is the Christmas one. So all of the champion skins were inspired by regional festive culture. So this one is Santa Gragas.
Fucking splash on this is
It
just
is
so old and good.
So old and good. He's
Yeah,
got
check
those
that
like
belly, son.
draw me like one of your French women
Yeah,
poses.
this is some body positivity though, and I love it. Gragas is not ashamed of his belly, as he shouldn't be, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
He's
just
positively
fucking
smug
doing
about
it.
that shit, man. Look at him.
Yeah.
Don't get bushy.
Don't get bushy.
Y'all, next time I hear Gragas, it's going to be a whole new world.
Some might say Gragas would be the perfect Santa, and between his jolly frame and wild beard, he certainly fits the bill. But Gragas is also very unreliable, constantly intoxicated, and starts fights seemingly at random. But he likes the costume, and no one's brave enough to take it back.
Drunken mall
He's like
Santa.
a shocking amount of skins.
Right.
He is. He's bad Santa.
But you spell like M-A-U-L.
I like it. I get it.
No, John, I heard you. My bad Santa joke was funnier though, so we were laughing at that.
There's room for all sorts of terrible Santa jokes.
That's fair.
M-A-U-L.
Yeah, we heard it. You didn't have to say it again.
Road Warriors up next. Set in a dystopian wasteland, each of the champions represent Fallout survivors turned into vandals, raiders, and roadsters. So this one's Vandal Gragas.
Oh, okay.
Gragas causes enough trouble to be kicked out of every wasteland settlement 20 times over. But the man found a way to mix potent brew and unrefined gasoline into the staple beverage of the post-apocalypse. Might as well let him wreck a few bars. He's earned it.
Awesome.
And I feel like you really wouldn't want to spend the little fuel left on alcohol in post-apocalypse.
You wouldn't unless you were Gragas.
It's a really shitty place, man. You're gonna want to drink this alcohol or gasoline. Sorry.
Do what you gotta do, I guess.
There's other ways to make alcohol.
Let's see. He's also part of a Marauderverse Warden, which is set in an alternate Runeterra where each champion is a warrior fighting on the Summoner's Rift. This is literally an alternate universe that encompasses all of old League of Legends lore, which I didn't know existed. But Ash and Alistar are also technically part of it, and I just missed it.
Man, the fucking AUs are knocking it out of the park. Man, old JOJ shit. Fucking, oh man.
Yeah. So this one is Warden Gragas. The Wardens are a sect of those who chose to don the armor of the Protectorate. Wardens hail from all corners of the world. So long as one holds fast to one's pledge, then one is a Warden. Gragas found purpose in this calling and found camaraderie in his fellow Wardens who welcomed him, all of him, with open arms.
Aw.
It's touching.
Cute.
And speaking of AUs and D&D shit, we're back on the Rift Quest. Welcoming Caskbreaker Gragas, who plays the cleric in this D&D campaign.
So cute.
Gragas Caskbreaker is described in legend as both a pious sun-worshipping cleric and a despicable drunk, depending on who tells the tale. He's not too familiar with Rift Quest, but he does like fighting dragons and passing out in the middle of combat actions. There's actually kind of a short story that's associated with this called Journey to Thy Golden Mustache. And we learn a little bit more about all the players that are playing in this first campaign. So it's got a short dialogue between Braum, who's DMing the campaign, and Varys, Rise, and Gragas. They're basically all deciding which characters they want to be. Gragas is very enthusiastic about being an archer who was cursed by an evil monster thingy.
And Varys, I assume.
Varys is not happy about this. He begs Braum to intervene. So Braum is like, all right, just no, let him have his little archery thing. You can be, I don't know, be like a cleric. And Gragas is like, well, can I get drunk? He's like, yeah, you can get drunk. Like, all right, I'll be the cleric. But by the time Braum moves the game along to combat, Gragas, while excited to fight the dragon, passes out drunk right before combat begins.
But Gragas can't get drunk. Aw.
You're thinking of main canon. This is Rift Quest.
Yes, but I was thinking of all the other AUs, which always just keep the same exact rigid structure to the character.
Well, then let me introduce you to Soccer Cup.
It's about a soccer player who can't get drunk.
Set in the world of football. This is Superfan Gragas, who is also clearly drunk. Gragas is Runeterra's biggest Order United fan, and he makes sure everyone knows it by leading chants, foregoing clothing for blue body paint, and making sure everyone around him is adequately hydrated. In quotes, in case it needed to be said. He's also got a World Championship skin, honoring Shushe's performance at the 2011 World Championships. And fun fact about this, so after Fnatic won that first World Championship, Shushe, who was their mid laner, came out on stage to pick up like the big victory check with like his shirt unbuttoned and wide open and holding an empty like water jug barrel. And everyone was like, oh my god, we need a fucking Shushe Gragas skin. And that was what actually kind of prompted the conversation about giving skins to all the world champions, even though they didn't do it for that year, and had to kind of go back and add it afterwards. But yeah, that was where that started, is Shushe cosplaying Gragas, picking up his check.
That's pretty fucking good.
That's delightful.
Last one, Scuba Gragas. This is, I'm putting this in the Earth category.
Ooh, okay.
He has no official lore associated with the skin, but Earth Spatula is in the background of his splash.
Ooh.
Okay. An interesting find for Earth Week when that comes up.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's my favorite theme song.
Right. Oh, it's so good. Now, those are all the AUs. I only have 2 fun facts.
Ooh, okay.
Just, first of all, voiced by J.S. Gilbert. And second, Gragas. Oh, God, I forgot. I was going to look up how to pronounce this.
It's okay.
So it's just going to sound weird. I'm just going to say the same word twice. Gragas comes from the Icelandic Gragas.
Okay, there's accent marks over the A's.
I don't know what that means in Icelandic, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like different. Well, it essentially means Grey Goose, which references the collection of Grey Goose laws in Iceland, which is how Grey Goose vodka got its name.
Oh.
I
Interesting.
think I learned something about like the real world today.
League of Loreheads telling you real information about real life.
What episode will just have to
Tune
talk
in
about
next
some
time.
random shit off Wikipedia for an hour?
Right.
All right, John. So part of your job now is also to have one random real life fact.
I had 2 this week. I had the one about St. James Gate, too.
You
That's
did.
true. Well, you know what?
Maybe-
If we look at, I was gonna say in KDA land, the real world is an AU. So
That's
That's true.
Is this enough to get us on the educational podcasts list?
Oh, man. I was going to say maybe we should do it instead. John already has to do all of the alternate universe.
that's true. That's true.
Research.
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's mostly Gragas. Not a lot going on, which we expected, but was kind of a nice break to go to Gnar and Gragas after all of the Demacia stuff.
It's true.
Yeah.
We've got some real Ruination champions coming up, so it's good to have a little downtime.
Anyhow, any final Gragas thoughts?
Oh, sorry, you threw me off. I forgot what we were even talking about.
I don't have any final Gragas thoughts. I will say, if you're listening to this, you're probably into lore. The Ruination event happening right now. The various Riot Twitter channels have been kind of releasing a lot of drips of lore and have released a couple at this point, kind of AR games that you can play to learn a little bit more about the lore. Some of which you can just kind of scan a QR code for. Some of which you've got to like solve puzzles to even get into the microsite and shit. So like, if you're into that, there's a lot of cool shit going on right now with the Ruination.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what drops with all of it.
Yeah, me too. Well, the Ruination's not like my most favorite. A lot of times when they do big events, it's on storylines that I'm not as interested in. I think I would have been interested in the Bilgewater thing if I were paying attention at the time, but Ruination's not really getting me. Spirit Blossom wasn't like, meh, I didn't care that much.
Have any of the events kind of hooked you?
Not really.
All right.
One of these days.
You're probably not their target market.
Get me one centered on Yordles and I'll be there.
A Yordle event.
Yeah, I mean, I love Senna, so that's like one of the reasons why I'm invested. Is because I like Lucian and Senna and their whole thing. But I find Viego so fucking boring. But anywho, I think we're done. I think we've done Gragas. I'm sorry I phrased it that way. We have a Twitter. It's at Loreheads if you ever want to join us. And if you would like to see a picture of Mark dressed as Hillbilly Gragas, which you did like 7 years ago or something like that.
Some shit like that. Yeah, it was a while back, man.
Yeah. We also post these on YouTube. People kind of hang out in the comments sometimes. It's just League of Loreheads. John and I do another podcast where we watch the highest rated movie and the lowest rated movie in a franchise and chat about it. It's called A Series of Unfortunate Sequels. We just wrapped up The Howling with the lowest rated movie we've ever done. It was fucking hilarious. I would watch that movie again. It was delightful. And join us next week as we go back to Bilgewater and talk about the Outlaw Graves.